Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for part 4 of the Monday Q&A. So let's get to the first question. When I do IF, my fasting window is usually from 7 p.m. to 11 a.m. and my training are usually at 8 p.m. so no food for 12 to 13 hours after training. I know you've talked about getting food in, if not more than 6 hours after training. Is this the most convenient system for me, but is it detrimental to any noticeable amount? This probably isn't ideal, and it might be slightly detrimental because you're training and then you're going up to 12 hours without eating afterwards, even though you probably are already glycogen supercompensated from feeding into the training. That's really hard for me to call. I really don't know for sure if it's going to be detrimental or not. On the other hand, if you're only training once a day, it probably isn't going to matter because that big feed window right before is probably completely replenishing your glycogen store, so you're probably okay. It's very difficult for me to give you a solid answer with that. You're going to have to just see how you feel and determine if it seems to be affecting your training or your recovery personally or not. The thing you have to remember with intermittent fasting, the real magic of intermittent fasting is the convenience of it. Is that it allows a lot of people to have tighter control of their intake and not have to worry about food, particularly people who tend to overeat a lot. It can be a very, very useful tool for controlling portion size, calorie control, all of that. And that's where the real beauty of it is in that it can be very convenient for a lot of people's lifestyles. So just keep that in mind, that there's nothing magical or fat burning about the fasting process itself. If there is, it's very, very minor. It may exist, we're still looking, but if it does, I promise you it's not going to be massive. It's going to be like a 1 to 2% advantage if it turns out to have any at all. So remember, it's mostly about convenience and control at this point. So if it's not working out for you, then don't work with it. But you have to just base this on how you feel with this particular situation. All right, next question. Jason, if you start to feel a niggling injury, do you recommend working through or lowering the weight and working on form, e.g. slight back of the knee pain? This is an easy one to answer. If you start noticing little small injuries starting, that's oftentimes a sign that you need to start thinking about taking a deload. Either a mini deload or a full week-long deload. A mini deload could be 1 to 2 sessions of coming in and working with 50% of your normal weight with slightly reduced volume, or you might need a full week of doing that. But oftentimes that is a sign that you're reaching that level to where you may benefit from a deload, if for no other reason than recovery and injury prevention. But when you start to feel those little nagging injuries and you ignore them, that's oftentimes when they turn into big injuries. All right, next question. What if I'm only experiencing elbow tendinitis after 3 months on your program, only when doing Skullcrushers lying tricep extensions? Do I just drop the weight 50% and keep doing it, or make the exercise for a month until the pain goes away? Assuming you're doing them the way I talked about, and I do have videos up somewhere, again, you can find them with the channel search engine discussing how to perform Skullcrushers to reduce the chance of elbow tendinitis and problems there. If you're experiencing this and you know you're doing the Skullcrushers correctly, yeah, take them out for a month. You're probably not going to notice a noticeable difference in your tricep development if you remove them from this program, because I already have you, every single time you're in the gym, you're either doing pause bench or you're combining overhead press with close grip bench presses. That's literally every time you train. So every 2 to 3 days, you're hitting your triceps with a big heavy compound. And I think most people will agree that the close grip bench press is a very, very good tricep mass builder, and you're already doing it every other workout. So pulling the Skullcrushers out isn't the end of the world. If they're bothering you, you're getting elbow tendinitis, no matter what form or technique you use with them, just pull them out and maybe add them back in later and see if it starts again. And if it doesn't, just keep them out of the program completely. It's probably not going to make a big difference. All right, guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time in part 5.